ready, Mags?
Ready?
Is your body
World
ready?
of darkness?
Are you Reggie?
Are you even here?
Yeah, my body is Reggie. Shake that body.
Rebel 1, fight!
What?
Where are you?
Oh, Rebel 1, Mags.
What?
Rebel 1, fight!
The wheels of fate are turning. Round 1, fight! It's time for the country bumpkin story.
The most countryest of pumpkins.
Choose your character.
God.
Show me your moves.
There's your move list.
Just throwing dice around.
Okay, I will use my microphone again. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello there, back. Hello, nerd.
Hello.
Hello, you nerd.
Alright, so, Mags, currently your, Clarke Wilmarth is, he's taking odd jobs here and there. As of right now, he seems to be stuck in a doldrum of no job. No one has anything for him to do, so he's kind of just waiting it out and hoping that he'll get one soon. The construction, your previous construction job isn't really working out right now. That being said, go ahead, considering that, walk me through a day in the life of Clarke Wilmarth.
Alright, I'm just trying to get on the TV. Sorry about this.
Oh, crap.
Okay, basically, get up in the morning, walk Wally, just kind of browse around the neighborhood, looking for whoever has any tasks they have to do while walking. Go home, kind of just eat, go to the construction job, and just kind of work for as long as I'm needed.
You're muted.
No, as needed.
Oh, stop talking.
And just go home and try to occupy my time with other things.
Okay.
Either with like just keeping the tiny apartment clean or just doing the jobs that neighbor is assigned.
Okay.
Then I guess in the night, just kind of watch TV and fall asleep to the static.
Okay. This goes on over the course of the next 4 or 5 days. And your job is quickly getting very interrupted. Every time you go to the construction site to do a couple of tasks for them, it's getting held up by a big strike that's going on. So it's hard for you to get to work and almost impossible. You can't make any money for the next couple of days just because of it. The union's causing you a lot of problems, as they usually want to do.
Oh goddamn.
However, one particular night, you see a couple of your friends from the construction site. They're, sitting around complaining at a bar. And they spot you as you walk by and, invite you over. They have a free seat open. What do you choose to do?
Choose to join in.
Alright. Your character goes over. Clarke goes over and he takes a seat. Usual, chatting it up with the friends, bitching and complaining about how, there's not enough work or anything like that, or the usual stuff. So at a certain point, you know, you guys are younger guys. You guys are just kind of sitting around talking, shooting the shit. And after a couple of drinks, by the way, does your character drink?
Moderately. Not a lot, mostly socially.
Turns out your friends are pretty heavy drinkers. They get absolutely hammered. And, you know, they decide it's time to go home. Closing time. And, do you choose to walk with them? They all live within the same sort of area, which isn't really the direction that you go. Complete opposite, if you will. And keep in mind, they are completely out of their mind hammered.
Well, how many of them are there?
3 of them.
Maybe just stick around with them for a little bit, make sure they don't hurt themselves, get in trouble.
It's pretty good that you were there for them, because they're a rowdy bunch. As you guys walk back, you know, they do the usual asshole drunk thing to do, and, you know, shout, make cat calls, and just do more of the usual stuff. One of them decides to stop in an alleyway and takes a piss in the next to the garbage dumpster. Make a perception check. Mags, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Perception check. Right, sorry. Okay, that's wits plus composure.
Alright. Okay, so... So roll a 5d10, right?
Correct. Damn, that dice is going.
Oh, there's
Breakdancing.
Okay.
Leave myself for a second.
Dang. Oh, wait.
Why isn't it showing up? Come on.
My dice, where are you? Open little bitches.
No, I noticed that my dice seems to lag a bit. Oh.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll
There
that
you
10. Okay, Cal. Alright. Mags, you, Clarke notices something going on in the, oh god, that echo is gonna drive me up a wall.
Wait, who's still echoing?
Oh no, that's
I
Cal.
think it's Cal.
Oh.
Not a
It's
big
on
deal.
the Skype.
It's not a big deal.
Wait, can y'all hear me? I should be muted.
No, we can hear you.
Okay, alright, thank you. Let me mute really fast again.
Alright.
Thank you, Cal.
Thanks, Cal. Sorry for the trouble.
You the best.
Okay. Mags, you hear... Oh, God. Weird. Anyways. Clarke,
I don't know, is that happening?
Clarke hears something going on deeper in the alley beyond your drunken, pissing friend. The other two are kind of just sitting around trying to figure out where they are, for starters. But you hear something going on deeper in the alleyway. It sounds like someone's in a fight.
Oh, fuck.
What do you choose to do?
Choose to stay with my friends, because if I get involved, they'll probably get involved too, and that'll just cause a whole mess of pain. No, I'm not.
You totally are. See?
Oh, crazy.
As you guys begin to walk away, you keep going. You hear someone scream from the alleyway, and then you hear 2 gunshots.
Oh, fuck.
Followed by 1 more gunshot.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Your friends hardly seem to notice. They're so inebriated they can't even... It's a miracle they're still standing.
Shit.
But you hear it, look around, and notice that no one else is doing anything about it. They're just kind of keeping their heads low. What do you choose to do?
So just kind of investigate the alley and set,
Go
like,
back and make a
my friends
perception
off.
check again.
Dang.
Oh no.
Goddamn, look at all that pink dice.
So many pink dice.
It's nothing.
You're nothing.
It's nothing. Nice.
Oh, yes! Wait, what the hell?
Where'd you go?
Oh, God.
Wait, why is the picture all... Oh, okay. You've done it.
It's like some shady rape alley.
Max.
Yeah, each person gets a different background.
Watch your fucking mouth.
It's true, though. Look at that.
Jesus Christ.
It's a place you'd see, like, urban Jason Voorhees in. What the hell?
Alright. Mags, what you see is... You've heard stories about criminal syndicates and everything like that, the mafias. You've seen movies with your pa, but you never thought for a moment you'd actually see someone that looks like they should be a part of a mafia. And they walk in a group of about 5 people straight out. One of them stays behind and spray paints something on a wall, which looks like a giant, which looks like a large X. And then another symbol that you don't quite understand. They just spray paint it on, look at you with, one of them, he looks over at you and just kind of seems concerned as to why you're still standing there.
You wanna die, bitch?
Guys, get the fuck out.
What are my options right here?
That's up to you.
Fuck out and
What does your character think to do? You are clearly being looked at by several people from what you can only assume was someone getting executed in that alleyway.
Oh no.
back away from the corner, training my eyes on them when I'm around the block. Just kind of book it back to those drunk friends and try and get them the hell out of there.
Alright, the symbols that you see are nice bright red color. Huh, that's weird.
I know, because if you already drew an X, I see a X.
No, that's not. That wasn't. That's not the exact
False.
X. Let's put it that way.
False alarm.
Oh no! Why is it doing that?
Oh no.
It's transparent. There we go. Okay. Now. So much trouble to do this. It looks a little something like this, the X. It's very particular. You see it sprayed on the wall. And then you see them spray another symbol onto the wall. One that looks more like... Come on, work with me. There we go.
Oh.
Oh no, wait. Never mind.
It looks different from the one that I got.
Okay. You see those two symbols sprayed onto the walls in bright red. And then as you back up, you know, they give them their space, they seem to ignore you, and a car pulls up, they get in. You remember the woman who was in charge. She looked particular, or at least seemed to be in charge. She looked particularly like someone who was the lady who was in charge. But what interested you about her was that she was wearing her sunglasses. It is in the dark hours of the morning. But she sits down inside of the car. Looks at you with a very peculiar look. Just more of a what are you still doing here kind of a look.
Not here.
Your friends are kind of like sitting around being, well, drunk assholes, and they're kind of pushing and shoving at each other. But make a Actually, what I need you to do is I need you to make a. Come on, music. Sometime this fucking week. I would appreciate it.
Don't be a bitch, music.
Thank you, sack of ass.
That's pretty intense.
It's pretty ass.
Mags, I need you to make an empathy and wits.
Rolling the dice. Oh,
Shit,
2 10s.
Very nice.
Really?
Yeah.
How are you people seeing this? I haven't even seen it yet.
Can I see the dice?
seriously?
It means you get to roll 2 more dice.
Okay. Oh,
All right.
okay, so 2 more rolls.
Yep, reroll twice.
Oh,
10s don't fail me now.
oh, you should have rolled 2 of them.
Very nice.
Oh,
What you notice is one of your friends, drunk as he may be, he looks at those symbols, and he goes to the wall. You aren't quite sure what he's doing, but he seems to be... He does a little something before noticing that you've spotted him, and you could tell that he's just acting drunk. He's not
Oh.
drunk.
God.
What the hell's he doing?
Thanks. We just stepped into some deep shit. Get the fuck out.
Good job,
just-
Clarke.
God.
On the wall, he scratches in something that looks a little like this.
He knows.
It's a W for Wombo.
God damn it, though.
It's a butt. Jewish candles for Hanukkah.
At this
A
point,
menorah.
also your empathy. You quickly notice that the woman, when she sees him making those scratch marks and she sees the symbol, she closes the window. She just rolls up the window and keeps going, and the car just takes off. Your friend goes
Oh,
back
no.
to acting drunk.
Can't fool me, bitch. Yeesh.
Why would he be acting drunk?
You're not quite sure.
Or what are his motives? Is it like a prank or something?
No,
It's too early in the morning.
no. He was. It was very. In the moment that you caught him doing that, he was very seriously focused on what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing, and it wasn't for a joke. At this point, you continue along. Do you decide to investigate the alleyway before you go? Because your friends, especially the one who's quote-unquote drunk, is shoving your other 2 friends along to go home. And you might get left behind if you don't quickly come along, which he is kind of yelling for you, telling you to hurry up. Come on, keep up.
Maybe just kind of look at these symbols
on,
for a
Clarke.
second, take a mental note.
Come on, hurry up, man.
Come on, Clarke, you bitch.
You don't want to get raped by a bunch of hobos, do you?
Oh no.
Those alleyway boys like country folk like you, man.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I remember the X, and I can remember that the symbol he made looks kind of like a trident. I can't really make heads or tails of that second symbol, so I just kind of hurriedly go along.
They eventually help you get home. And the last one that you're with is the not drunk one. He actually seems to drop the act as soon as your last friend is out of sight. Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
I think Mag's got caught.
Nah, not
It's the mafia.
She just
Ah, they got her.
Too real.
Oh,
Stand
he's
it.
setting up the Christmas tree.
Oh, Christmas tree.
What's a Christmas?
The best holiday ever.
Is it the white one?
The white one. white holiday.
Alright.
Crass math.
He drops the act. Very, nonchalantly continues walking by you, and, as you guys are both headed to his house. He's digging around in his wallet. Is there anything you want to say to him, Mags?
Perception check.
Go on.
I'm just gonna take you guys' nices as an indicator I did something right before I actually see it.
Got a 10, 8, and a 9.
Not see it before we do.
I don't know, man. It's because of the lazy eye.
Identical.
Gee.
Not gonna listen to that.
As we wait for the dice roll. There it is! Reroll. Reroll 1.
Wait, what's she doing a check on?
Perception.
Oh.
2 success, 1 reroll. 3 success! See? Wins on top of it. Wins on top of his shit.
Jesus.
You notice that he's digging through a bunch of bills. And what looks like a card. He stops at the card for a second. Your perception check allows you to see that it has a spades on it. Specifically, this card is an 8 of spades. He quickly notices that you're looking and hides it behind some bills and pulls out about 40 some odd bucks. $42. He hands it to you. More like shoves it into your hands. Yeah. When I'll let you decide what you want to be. You already know the system. But you will be a jack. Mags, you are Clarke has handed $42. Way more than necessary for a taxi, and but your friend seems to assume that you'll be taking a taxi. He just says, "Look, use that, pay the cab, use the rest, get hammered tonight. Just go find a place that has some alcohol, get some, and act like you didn't see what you saw. Okay?"
What's all this about? What's the trident looking symbol about, and what's that card about? I don't really
I told
understand.
He's very stern about this now, and he looks at you and says, "Pretend you didn't see what you just saw. Alright? I don't want you getting hurt."
Hurt? But, like, are you like the one part of the mafia or something?
I wouldn't say that much. All you need to know is you take that money, take a cab back home. Don't dig anywhere that you don't need to be digging. Alright?
I don't really understand what you're asking of me.
Hails down a cab. He flags down a cab, shoves you inside. And he says, before he closes the door, he leans over and says, "Just forget what you saw. Alright? Tomorrow when we see each other, we're not going to talk about this." He closes the door. Tells the taxi driver where to go, and sends you off, and he continues walking alone. before, you know, you disappear off, he says, "Look, you're a good guy. I just don't want you getting in anything that you're gonna regret." And that's when the car goes and takes you back home. What do you choose to do? You can talk to the cab driver and get him to stop you where the alleyway was, or just go straight back home. You know,
I
the
just
cab.
choose to go back.
Yeah,
Hmm?
go back home.
Go back home. Maybe I'll investigate the signs tomorrow when it's actually lighter outside. Maybe
Alright.
during the walk with Wally.
Okay. Your character, Clarke, makes it back home and seems, for some reason, the $42 was just enough to pay the cab, as well as, you know, far more than to pay the cab, as well as leave you behind about $30. You can do whatever you want with it. He did say keep it. But when you do make it home, you've got a small bill to pay that is, well, exactly $30. Not a very serious one, but you didn't have that money before, and you wouldn't have been able to afford it.
How does he know my finances? I don't really talk about that.
You don't know? Lucky guess. Or maybe something more. You go to sleep that night thinking about what might have just occurred. What just happened. And you find yourself having a restless night. The sun arrives and you hadn't slept very much, but you crawl out of bed knowing that you have work to do today. Hopefully you can get past the union and get into your construction job. As you're walking over, you see your group of friends. They're laughing, they're talking about stuff, but the one in particular, he's not there.
Did something happen to him when he was walking home?
You don't know. Your friends see you and, you know, they naturally call you over and say, "Hey, we get to finally work today. Whoopee." A shame Jack isn't here to help out. I guess he must have got real discouraged by the union. I'll give him a call later and see if he's coming in. What do you choose to do, Mags?
Ask them if they've seen Jack around. Like if he left a sign or something. Or if his locker's undisturbed.
Clarke, what are you talking about? His locker's right over there. And he hasn't been in all morning. Come on, man. Don't worry so much about it. He just went home. He's just staying home sick, I guess.
Alright, I just wanted to know. He just kind of owes me a favor and just wanted to tell him that it's alright. He doesn't have to pay it back.
Hey, whatever, man. I'll let him know that when I give him a call later. You go about your day until about around lunchtime when one of your friends comes back and he says, "Hey, Clarke, did something happen last night after we got home? He's not answering his phone."
Oh no.
Nah, not really. Guess we were walking around drunk. Maybe he's just sleeping off the hangover.
Alright, man. You finish out your tasks for the day and they send you off. with a small check in your hands. What do you choose to do now? You still remember?
Is it still light?
Yeah.
Is it still light out?
Yeah, it's still light out.
Try and find the alley.
It takes you a little bit. Things look a little different when lights out. But you do find it. Except the wall is no longer covered in those same odd symbols that you saw before. Seems like they were very deliberately erased.
Perception check.
Go ahead.
Right, nobody's remarking anything, so I assume I didn't get anything really good.
Oh, I don't see any dice.
And now you know how it feels.
Alright, reroll your 10. Reroll your other 10.
I got another 10?
No, I can see the die.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That does not sound good.
You get there, and you find that the symbols are gone. Definitely have been erased. You can see faint hints that they were there. Oh, you got another 10 apparently.
What the fuck?
That's 3 successes.
Christ.
Roll again.
Jesus Christ.
You get to see everything.
Lazy Eye is my shotgun gun.
Oh god. Showering gun.
Lazy eye no jutsu.
So 5.
Okay, give me a moment.
Alright.
You find the spot rather quickly where the obvious last shot was given. An execution shot, you're pretty sure. Because there's a very big hole in the ground that hasn't been quite filled in yet. And you recognize that with that kind of damage from your experience with guns, from hunting with your father, that's a .45 caliber round. Far more excessive than needs to be to kill a person.
Really excessively, what the hell happened?
You look around and you notice that there aren't any signs, any other signs besides this. There's no body, there's no blood. Only this weird faint outline of a person's body, as if they were set on fire after they died. Burned into the gravel around.
I'm starting to feel a little bit sick, perhaps.
You look around a little bit more. Trying to get a better sense of your surroundings. And what you find is a strange door. You're not sure where it leads to. It's an odd looking, and the building itself doesn't look like it's anywhere out, that leads out onto the streets. But scratched into the frame of the door, you see a couple more of those strange symbols.
Oh no.
One of them. Come on. Get out of here. Draw a shape. Why does a shape have... Oh, hold Alt for circle and ellipses. Okay. One of them looks like this. Just etched into the door.
It's a bullseye looking thing.
Drawing this down.
Right next to it, you see this. Oh, no.
Perception check.
You may.
Hope I don't get just a streak of 10s again.
I think you just got 2 10s.
Oh my god.
Your lazy eye is very perceptive.
Told you, man, it's my rearview mirror. So, roll 2. What the f-
4 10s.
You have 4 tens?
Well, alright then.
We roll 4 times.
Holy shit.
You motherfucker.
How dare you?
And another 10.
It's 5.
That is 5. That constitutes a critical success. Your lazy eye is a prophet's orb.
There's a little glass eye of shit.
Wanna roll that again? See if you can beat the record.
So whenever I roll again?
Yeah.
How many?
Once. You have
God damn it, North.
And a 1. Alright.
Still.
You close your eyes and take a moment to really concentrate. You block out the sounds of the city behind you. You ignore the weird hobo that's screaming on at the end of the corridor. And you look at the symbols. And you begin to realize that they almost look like a conversation is going on. It is clearly being used in a form of communication. But whatever it is, it has something to do with this door. And you notice from your tracking days, you see in the mud very thin traces of what look like a lot of footprints. They don't go inside though. They seem to hover around outside of it. Before you notice that there's a camera perched up on... It's very small. You almost would not have noticed it had you not gotten such an excellent roll. And what you see, the camera is sitting up there, watching this door very carefully. And you also notice that in a spot where you can look out of the alley, there's someone watching you from a window of one of the apartment complexes, about around the 3rd floor, just watching you with a pair of binoculars.
What?
But as soon as you notice, as soon as they know that you spotted them, they close the curtains.
Shit.
You can't get away from our lazy eye.
Throw a rock at him.
They're spinning around like
Oh, like
Sagama's eye.
Samagama's eyes.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, Cal. Nudist beach.
Just the beach.
Nudist beach.
That was the best
Alright,
part.
so-
Okay.
What am I
Going up
options
top.
right now?
Fucking window.
What are the options that are being bestowed upon me right now?
I don't know. What are the options that you want to have bestowed upon you? You
Just
tell
really
me.
curious. Who was that up in the window?
Hmm.
Why were they watching me? Like, what does this door lead to? Maybe knock on the door?
You knock. No one answers.
If no one's home, then I guess I'll just try to get back home. Probably Wally's getting hungry. I don't think I fed him.
Did you try opening the door?
I'll try opening the door.
You die in the end.
Your perception check allows you to notice this before you even open it. But the lock is on this side of the door.
Oh, our parents.
Is it locked?
Like I said, it's locked on this side of the door. When it should be on the other side. As Wynn said, whatever's inside is locked in.
Are there any sounds coming from the door? Maybe press my head against it to see if there's anything in there.
Any people in here? No.
You hear a very long, drawn out, some kind of... You press your ear a little closer. You try your hardest to listen, even though that hobo at the end of the road is really screaming something. You're not paying any attention to him.
Get out of here.
For a moment, you feel a shudder in the earth, a rumble. And then what sounds like a loud series of shrieking noises, almost like the cries of the damned. For about 10 seconds, and then it goes away. You smell him before he actually gets into contact with you. But the hobo walks over and gives you a very firm shove. He pushes you. Still yelling at you. You don't know what he's yelling about. You can hardly understand him. And he just sits in front of the door. continues mumbling to himself something. You're not quite sure what it is. Never had none of these hobos back home.
Are there people inside that door? What's happening?
You don't know.
I don't really want to mess with that hobo. I'm scared that he maybe has like a knife or something on him. I don't want to get shivved.
Alright.
No, she...
You go back home.
No, go
Continue.
ahead, sorry.
You go back home and nothing more eventful happens. You, go back, feed your dog, take care of some chores, and work is slowly flowing in. Things are kind of looking up. You know, your neighbors are asking for a lot of help fixing some of their pipes and things like that. Small chores that need to be taken care of, moving a couple of things, and you're more than happy to take care of it. It's a lot more money in your pocket. You go to sleep. You can't help but think about that door, though.
Maybe should I call the police?
That's up to you.
Maybe call the police, because I don't know if there are like people in there that are being held against their will. Maybe that person that was probably killed was part of that group.
Do your thing.
You call the police and they say that they said they'll take a look into it. What do you decide to just go to sleep now? Let the police handle it?
Yeah, because police have got it. They're better equipped to handle things like this than I am. I'm just some person from Alabama. What can I do to help? I mean, I've already done my job. I already told them what's happening.
You go to sleep, feeling like you accomplished something today. Took care of business, you know, and hopefully helped some people. And you wake up a little earlier than usual. You get the food bowl out for your dog, you get your breakfast, and put on your work clothes, get ready to go and do some more construction. On your way over, you see an odd-looking woman. It catches your eye almost immediately. Particularly because the way the shadows across her face kind of moved. Didn't seem very natural. Also for the fact that she seems to be making a beeline right for you. Until you walk past her. She doesn't say anything to you. She just follows you through the crowd.
Perception check.
Alright.
Prophetic lazy eye, don't fail me now.
What the fuck?
Max, fuck you!
Goddamn lazy.
Max, seriously!
Wait, what I get?
Dell, she's giving you a run for your money.
Wait, what I get?
How many did she?
I can't see.
She got
Get
3
another
tens,
10.
just-
What?
Oh, you got
How many
3 tens.
tens this time?
You got 3 so far.
So far, she has beat me at.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
Shit.
Jesus Christ.
Reroll 3. Monster.
Monster.
Oh, fucking lazy eye.
Fucking monster.
For a visually impaired person, I extremely
She got fucking
She got 5.
two more successes. Who drew that hobo?
The luck vampire. Alright, Megs, you notice that first off, she's mocking you as she walks behind you. She is copying your every step, your weird sort of kind of country sort of way of walking. And when you turn to look at her directly, you see what look like 2 fireflies in the dark for a face. Her eyes are... You could swear they were glowing, but it doesn't strike you as strange. Except, your lazy eye, she's making fun of too. Because her eye is now moving around down there too.
Rude.
But because you also have an extremely high perception check, you notice something immediately wrong with this person. It's not her. There's something wrong with her shadow. It looks like she has long, pointy ears. And an almost demonic-looking tail. Furthermore, that glow in her eyes and her smile are cut out of her shadow. Which shouldn't happen, by the way. And she looks at you, puts her hands on her hips, and says, "Well, good morning to you! Howdy. What's a country boy like you doing hanging around the big city?"
Take that shit from her.
Well, I do feel kind of jolted. I mean, I've gotten pokes like that at work, but they kind of settled down. What's this woman want from me? How does she even know I was Southern?
You don't know.
Is it really that obvious?
You don't feel like you did anything to deserve it, especially since you've never spoken to this woman before, so she couldn't know. Unless she was stalking you. And then she says something very peculiar. And she looks up to you with her lazy... You're pretty impressed, actually, by the fact that she can fake a lazy eye. She looks up at you, and her lazy eye swinging around all over the place. And she says, "Heard you like looking at doors. Is that a thing out in Alabama?"
I think I can feel my heart coming up to my throat.
And then her eye sets back where it's supposed to, like she takes her finger, sticks it where her eye is, and moves it back up there in a really weird sort of way. And she blinks a couple of times. That she poked herself in the eye, duh. But she looks at you and she takes out what looks to be a small little flask filled with some clear liquid. She reaches over and tucks it into your shirt. She turns around, waves and says "Ta-ta," and vanishes into the crowd. You completely lose track of her. You're not sure where the hell she went.
Did she just give me drugs? What the?
You're not sure. The bottle is inside of your shirt pocket.
Perception check. Was it
think
normal
that's
this time?
It's normal-ish. Still suck.
You pull the bottle out, look at it, and it looks kind of just like water. Just a random bottle of water. The glass is real thin, like if you weren't careful with it, you might break it. That's about it. So you head off to work, and you find that once again, Jack isn't in today, and your friends are a little worried now. They said we went over to check on how Jack was doing, and there was no one home. He even left his shoes behind. The door was unlocked and everything. It was strange. You think something happened to him? What do you have to say, Clarke? Mags, you there? I think she got a phone call.
BRB.
Okay. North, basically all you missed. When did you leave? Like, what was the last thing you heard, North? Alright, so she was able to see that the lock was on the outside of the door, instead of being on the inside where it's supposed to be. And when she listened in, she felt the earth rumble a little bit. And this long wailing noise that sounded almost like the screams of the damned. She could hear very faintly inside. Then she gets harassed by a hobo, gets sent back home. She goes, takes care of her dog, you know, goes to sleep. And then Clarke gets out of bed, puts on his work clothes, gets ready to go, and he runs into Raven, who pretty much mocks him in front of his own face, and gives him a small bottle of what looks like some kind of clear liquid, and just puts it in his shirt, and then leaves. And now she's trying to figure out what to do with it. She just ran to her friends, and her friends have told her that their friend Jack is missing. Hasn't been in for 2 days. They got worried last night after noticing he didn't pick up his phone, and they went over to his house, and the door was unlocked. It didn't look like anyone ever left the room, but he wasn't there.
Alright, I'm good to go now.
Alright, did you hear what
At least for a little.
Did you hear what I said
Yeah,
about, Okay.
He's not there, even if she's still there.
What do you say to him? Because they're looking at you.
Wait, who's looking at me?
Your other two friends. At work. You're at work now.
I think she needs a recap.
No, I understand now. Ask them if they've seen Jack around.
Well, we wouldn't be asking you if we did know where he was. Or if we did see him. We haven't seen him since that night when we got drunk. More importantly, why was his door unlocked? You know, that there was no one there. He had a wife and kids, and they're gone. They just left. Everything's still there, like it was... like they just vanished in the middle of breakfast. There was cereal sitting on the table. It was the strangest thing. The newspaper, a cup of old, day-old coffee, plate with
Oh shit.
bacon and eggs, cereal bowl for their daughter. It was all sitting there, and they're just gone.
It's got to do with that door. Maybe the people screaming were his family. Maybe after work I'll stop by that door one last time.
Work ends. None too pleasantly, just because everything's been so... You can't get your mind off of it all. But... you finish out work, pack up your stuff, put everything away into the lockers, and you head over. Trying to get to the alleyway that you found before. By now you remember how to get there, and you quickly make your way over. You see a different hobo. This one just quietly stares at you. And the camera that's up on the ledge, it's a different camera.
Interact with the hobo, maybe ask, like, what's he doing around? Kind of try to stay my distance, too, if he gets aggravated or upset.
He just sits there and he looks around for a second. He holds out his hand. Doesn't say anything to you. Like he's asking for something.
Is he asking you for money?
You don't know. He didn't say anything. He just looks left, looks right, and looks down at the ground and gives a sigh and holds his hand up.
I'm gonna start emptying the pockets, seeing what he wants to have. I think I have a few dollars somewhere. I'm not really sure what to do with the liquid. I just kind of
You pass the
take
hobo.
that.
You pass the hobo a couple of dollars. And he pulls it back and stuffs it into his pocket. And he motions for you to lean closer.
Kind of lean closer. I'm also like really tensing up.
He says, and he doesn't talk or sound anything like a hobo. He just says, in a very clear and concise way, "You really shouldn't be here, Clarke. I told
How
you
the fuck does he know my name?
And he says, and what comes after is more interesting. He says, "I told you not to come back here."
Oh. Oh no!
What's up, man? What's up?
Jack, is that you?
He starts yelling, shouting, and acting like, Usual, like the same crazy hobo from yesterday. And he gives you a shove and wanders out of the alley. He doesn't seem to leave the alley. It seems like he's just waiting for you to get out. But he's not acknowledging you anymore.
Jack, what the fuck, man? Shoot.
What do you do, Max? What do you do?
Try and, like, just interrogate him. Or, like, what is so fucking important about this door?
He continues to act like you're harassing him, and being a hobo, no one gives a shit.
Perception check.
What?
Wait, what?
What the fuck, man? It's not helping.
Alright, tell me what I got from my dice, because I have no idea.
I didn't see it. I wasn't looking.
I can see every dice except one. Oh, damn it.
All fails.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I had a good run.
You see him tense up for a whole minute, and he's looking ahead. There's something that he saw out in the street. He looks back at you and says, Clarke, for your own fucking safety, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. You need to stop being involved in this. It's none of your business. It's for your own good, okay? And then you see him pull out a pistol.
Oh, what the fuck, Jack? I thought we were friends.
And he runs to the other side of the street, chasing someone into the other alleyway.
What's that sound?
The sounds of a
Oh,
robo
right.
hunting into a street.
Wish I didn't know we were getting that realistic.
Yeah. Game's really realistic.
This is how you roleplay.
You're all alone in the alleyway again. What do you do?
Start looking up into the top windows. I want to see if anyone's looking down. I just maybe start screaming like, is anybody watching me? What the fuck is this?
No. No one's watching. You see a couple of people, you see a couple of odd people. They're dressed in suits, and you notice them because, well, they're running into that same alleyway. And it looks like they have their hands in their suits and are holding what you can only assume are pistols. One of them is carrying a large briefcase, which looks like it could fit an SMG. You see people get out of their way, they stop, get a little curious, but then they quickly turn their attention back.
Oh my god, I never noticed her avatar.
Alright, what do you choose to do now, Max?
Well, obviously I'm not gonna get any results just standing around the alley. Maybe just
The
come
alley's
follow
your-
from a distance.
You notice that you have an opportunity to go check out the door if you really want. You can check out the door, or you can go chasing these guys. But with that much heat going into that alleyway, that much firepower, you ask yourself, do you really want to go into that one?
I changed my mind. I'm investigating the door. Maybe I'm not being as gentle as before. I'm just kind of like pounding the door, trying to see if anybody's actually in there and if they need help.
You shout out. And after you say, "Is anyone down there?" you feel the ground move again. A slight shudder, a rumble. And you hear a loud shrieking noise in the, like, somewhere deep inside. It's very faint, but you can hear it. This loud shriek.
Jesus Christ.
Goes on for about 10 seconds, and then it disappears.
Perception check.
So 9, 6, 6, 1. Let's see the bottom.
Yeah.
Man, her dice take forever to load.
Oh. Maybe it's, is she hosting a call? Maybe that's why.
Wait, what's the freaking red hobo, dude? He's very happy.
Uh-huh.
Is that orange one gonna shoot the red one?
We
No,
meet back
hobo.
at Eiffel Tower.
Hobo, yeah, hobo gang fight.
Alright, what do you do,
Freaking
Max?
French people.
Oh, well,
I
she
haven't got my
rolled the...
dice.
Yeah, she fucking rolled, but it was like 10 minutes ago. Dice.
Can't see the freaking dice.
One dice.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I got
It was
one.
like 9, 6, 6, and 1. Let's see the last one.
One's like being blocked by the freaking icons.
Yeah.
There they are.
Oh,
One success.
One single success.
You know that you know that the lock is on your side of the door, and you can open it and enter if you so wish.
walk away.
I open the door and maybe just look inside.
You open the door and see a long tunnel going down. Long set of stairs that descend deep below the streets. You feel this. You feel something wrong. This gust of cold, frigid air comes rising up out of the ground, out of the door, and pushes past you, almost as if something was let free, or some kind of cavernous, deep sigh escapes.
Call out again. It's insane. See, this is what Clarke would do. Shut the fuck up. He He is not a smart man.
You call out. No one answers. You hear your voice echoing down deep into the chambers. What do you do?
Perception check. Now that the door's open, at least.
That was bad.
Damn, what'd I get?
2, 2, 4, and something else.
God damn.
I got some last two.
How the hell are you people seeing me before me? It's so fucking bullshit.
Oh, you're not doing some crap shit.
Wow, that's magnificent.
Yeah. Kind of.
You reach to take a step in so you could try and listen closer, only to find that the ground is very slippery. And because you didn't notice it, you barely grab onto the railing, but the railing itself is very fragile and falls under your weight, and you begin rolling down the stairs. You aren't hurt too bad. By the time you get to the bottom of the stairs and hit a wall, it's pitch black. And in the process of you falling down, you don't remember when the door suddenly got closed.
Oh god, no.
You hit the bottom, take 3 bludgeoning damage.
Now you have 2.
God damn.
And then you feel the earth rumble again, followed by this deafening shriek that echoes past the walls, and you can hardly even think it's so loud. But after 10 seconds, it goes away. Can't see anything. Do you have anything on you that has light?
Fucking cell phone. Come on. Did she leave again? I think she left again.
And the Native Americans. How dare you? Oh, homeless.
Okay, Mags. No problem. Just type out what you do.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and wrap this up for you quickly. And move on to the next person.
Next victim.
We're ready. Gosh.
Now that everything's quiet again, you hear footsteps walking towards you. Like dress shoes clacking against the ground. It's too dark to see anything, though, unless you have a source of light.
Goddamn it, Clark. Don't die in the tutorial.
FYI, it is apparent. It is actually possible to die in a tutorial level in World of Darkness.
Oh! Oh no. Jesus Christ.
You know what happened to
Don't-
that guy who played in traffic? It was...
What do you do, Clark?
Man, you gotta step up your A game. Only thing I can find is
You're
glass.
very surprised that the glass isn't broken. You also have your cell phone.
Still drawing on the goddamn doodle.
For that one doodle from a while ago?
Yeah, still drawing on it.
Damn, it must be like intense.
You almost regret turning on your cell phone as it looks out over a bunch of headless bodies lying on the ground. Several of them look like police officers.
Not asshole.
Their skin looks like there's something crawling underneath the flesh. This black substance of some kind.
Zero off the whistle for Wally.
Max, what do you do? What do you do? Come on.
And that
Think quickly.
sound of feet falling on the floor gets louder, but you can't see anyone. It's also accompanied by a sound of sand gently moving across the ground.
And not him. Not him. Anybody but him. Oh God. Get out of there.
Like, don't just stand there, Clark. You fucking fuck.
They just keep getting louder.
Yeah.
Get your ass up the stairs.
Run, you ass.
What the hell?
Wait, is Clark just standing there?
He's just standing there
Technically he is. 'Cause
until Max does something.
Max isn't doing anything. Yeah. Okay, she said, and travel to the stairs. He's breaking the bottle and going to the stairs.
You smash the bottle. And you listen to the sound of all the liquid falling to the ground. As you run to the stairs, you look behind you and see something in a suit. But it has no head. Hands in its pockets. Just has a small little bowler's cap on where a head would be, just floating there. And it just keeps walking towards you.
Run, you
And you
bitch.
see what looks like black sand seeping out of the bodies of the headless people all over the floor. And it goes into the suit.
Oh no. He's reforming himself.
Oh fuck.
Run, Clark, run!
Get out of there.
You get to the top. You get to the top of the stairs, panicking, moving as quickly as you can. And once you get to the door, you realize that it's locked.
No.
The door had locked behind you. You slam on the door, screaming for help.
Mags Do you want to try to break down the door?
You may attempt to break down the door. Roll a strength plus brawl. By the way,
This
you
is
all
fucking
can
intense.
you can all expend willpower. 1 point of willpower gives you 3 extra dice to use.
Do it, Max.
Use all the willpower you have.
You can only use
One per
willpower
turn.
at a time, right? Okay.
1 per turn unless you're something crazy powerful.
Is that a thing?
Well, we're all humans, so.
Yeah.
You're all humans, you won't be doing that much.
Okay.
Why did he get this Sam of all people?
5, 3, 5, 7, 7. Jesus Christ! The fuck? So.
Oh my god. Excellent.
Did you even have one success? I didn't see
She
the last
did.
one.
God,
She did
no.
not. You just hear the
Is
steps
anything?
going. You just hear the thing walking behind you, walking up the steps ever so quietly. And then it goes completely silent and so dark. Your phone goes out. There's no more light. And once the lights are completely out, you just hear that echoing cacophony of steps. It just, every step it gets closer. You can hear it ringing out, echoing throughout the entire halls. And now it makes sense what that sound was. That shrieking noise before the rumble. That shrieking noise was a train.
Oh no. That's
And
when you
in the
find it.
time that that loud shrieking occurs, you feel something grab onto your chest, onto your shirt, and you feel a pinch, followed by something flooding into your veins, like
Fuck.
someone was putting sand
Jesus.
into your body.
Fucking
Are you
Christ.
kidding?
You hear the door behind you suddenly break open. And you see that woman with the gun. She's looking down and she's holding a bottle in her hand. At this point, you're finding it very hard to keep conscious because sand inside of your veins is usually not good. And all you recall was there was this smashing of glass. And you looked at the face of the thing that was about to eat you or kill you. Well, now you know it was about to eat you. The head is a swirling vortex of sand and teeth. Not necessarily fangs like you'd expect to see, but more human-like. Flat teeth, rotating in a spiral, and descending into an endless maw. And right before it was going to reach you and, well, just begin grinding your face off, you see a flash from what sounds like a camera. And he's gone. You fall to the floor, sand still pouring out of your new wounds. You've got a lot of them now. If you look at the inside of your elbow, that soft spot where where the doctor always pricks you with needles and extracts blood, you've got sand seeping out of a nice sized hole there. One on the back of your hands. Didn't seem to get into the one on your neck, your arteries on your neck.
Luckily, you didn't get that.
And you're just left there, lying on the ground. The woman takes the picture from the camera. It was a Polaroid camera. And she puts it into an envelope.
God damn.
Hold my breath with this shit.
Fucking sand, man.
You pass out. Particularly because you have sand in your veins. And you wake up inside of a strange-looking apartment complex of some kind. You lie there, unable to move. You're completely paralyzed.
No.
You can't even move your head.
Don't know that song. X. This one.
But you feel something coursing through you. Something kind of, well, horribly wrong. Something a person really shouldn't be feeling. That's kind of like your blood was being flushed out.
Oh, jeez.
You find that it's impossible. And you fade back into unconsciousness. As the blood completely leaves your body.
Shit.
Well, fuck.
You wake up again. After all that's happened, you're a little surprised that you're waking up. And you look around, you're still in that same room that you were before, but now you can move around. It's very painful. Everything really hurts. And you look over to your left, and on the counter of the small little bedside drawer is a jar. Another large jar. It's filled with some red liquid. And at the bottom, settled on the bottom, is, I want to say about a half a gallon. If you took a gallon jug of milk and filled half of it with sand, black sand, is sitting at the bottom. You see the lady again, and Jack. Jack's sitting there. He just shakes his head. He's pissed with you.
You dumb motherfucker.
Jack says, I told you not to pay any mind what was happening.
God, Clarke.
Why'd you have to go and do that, Clarke?
Jesus, Clarke.
And you see the woman kind of holds her hand up, and Clarke goes, and Jack goes quiet. He's still in. He's in a suit now, and on his suit you see a spade symbol with an 8 next to it. It's a small little pin, a small little pin of a card. The woman. He refuses. He can't say anymore. The woman is taking over now. She adjusts her sunglasses, looks at you and says, things that you just saw, you won't be able to unsee. It's up to you what you do with that now. We only gave you a second chance because you, incidentally, happened to be there at the right time.
Oh.
Had we not been there, and had we not just found out what we needed to know, you would have died. I would consider you quite lucky. But that being said, Jack has actually, she doesn't refer to him as Jack. She calls him Jonathan. Jonathan has proposed to me to bring you in.
It's the mafia only except Italians. God damn it, Clarke. You dumbass.
She doesn't answer that question. She just stands up and she tells Jonathan to explain as she leaves. Jonathan, he takes a couple of moments thinking before he says anything, and he says, I'm part of a group that looks for and deals with the creatures like what you just saw.
Shit.
We try to find ways to... Well, you did just see that, didn't you? Well, we were keeping an eye on that thing until you got too curious. We were trying to make sure that it wouldn't escape while we were trying to figure out how to deal with it. You got lucky this time, Clarke. But knowing that these things exist, it's not exactly something you can just walk away from and pretend it never happened. These things are very real, and there's a lot more of them. You'll find that everyday average people that you thought were normal might not be entirely what you think they are. What do you mean, like me? Clarke, Clarke, I'm not exactly who you think I am. That doesn't mean that we aren't pals still. My name is Jonathan. My wife and my daughter, well, they're not really my wife and daughter. And that's all you need to know for now. Until we can learn whether or not we can trust you. But for now, he pulls out a card. And on this card is clubs. A 2 of clubs. He puts it down on your bed. He puts it down next to the jar. He pats on the jar and says, "We figured you might want to hang on to this. Just a souvenir. It was yours, after all. We'll be seeing each other again in the future. But for now, I suggest you get acquainted with your new surroundings." He just continues walking out of the door. And before he closes the door, he says, "You're a good guy, Clarke. I just want you to know that. You shouldn't have gotten involved, but you did." And now, things aren't going to go back to the way they used to be. And so, you need to make the decision of how you're going to deal with it. And close the door. Hotaru and Bridget, you guys see this guy, and everybody, all the others kind of leave the house with this guy who came in. He pretty much looked like he should have been dead. His skin was crawling with some black sand-like substance when they dragged him in. They hooked him up to a machine that began pulling blood out of his body, and they tried to transfuse and put fresher blood inside. And the more they flushed it, they had to keep resetting the machine because sand kept getting jammed up into it. And Bridget, your medical experience helped them out, particularly because you had to help fix that fucking machine while dealing with blood spraying everywhere. That room looked like a fucking nightmare. And Hotaru, what you saw is just so much blood. You've never seen so much blood everywhere.
God damn.
It dripped through the cracks in the floor and into the rooms below. And every now and again, you find some black sand-like, sand-filled blood dripping through the ceiling into the kitchen. And it's going to be that way for the next couple of days. Alright, Mags, that's it for you. Your character... Let me take a look at your experience points.
Experience points.
Yes. 1 automatically. Learning curve. What did you learn today? Mags. Also, whoever's next, please get prepped up and ready to rock.
Who's next?
May I go next if that's okay?
Yes, you may.
Yeah, go.
Cool, yay.
The Bagani enters.
Oh my gosh.
Enter the Magane.
Damn slutty Magani.
Yeah, I know, it's gonna be fun. Oh,
Man, Srut.
I did another pick.
After these 3 tutorials, I don't know.
I want to see how Paul does.
Oh wait, do you have like a picture of your character, Cal?
Yeah, I have a few ones.
Oh, excellent. Mags, I just need like the biggest thing that you learned today. Just type that out.
to never get into Sandman again.
Doors.
Don't fucking go near doors. Don't go near stairs.
Okay, Mags.
Don't go in the forest. Shit.
Don't go in the forest.
Just stay away from doors and stairs.
Told you about stairs, bro. I told you, dog.
Yes, Cal is going next, Taco.
Oh, wait a sec. Did Clarke also have an encounter with stairs?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he
Well,
did.
he did kind of fucking
Well, he
fall
did get us
down the
fucked up.
stairs.
But did.
Okay.
He did get us fucked up. But...
Is our final boss gonna be like a stair monster?
Yes.
Alright, so Mags, mark that down. That's another experience point. Role-playing, you did a very good job of role-playing him. For heroism, it says do not reward characters who act in... Well, I want to say that you did, but it was very... It took a lot of coaxing to get out of you, where you were kind of just like, no, I don't... should I? Should I not? But you still went in, even knowing that there was something obviously wrong. So you're going to get 1 extra point for heroism. After the story, success! You didn't die! You get 1 experience point. Your character survived against harsh odds and grave dangers. Well, technically you did survive, but you didn't really do it on your own, so you don't get that. Wisdom. The player, and thus his character, devised a brilliant plan or came up with a spontaneous solution that enabled the group to survive or succeed when it might have failed. You did not.
Clark's a dumbass. That's...
So, you get a total of 5 experience points.
Whoa. The
Well,
highest
a
yet.
lot.
Well, she got the best so far.
Yeah, because she was really in character.
Well, she did deal with Sandman.